How was that, honey?
Right. You know what I love about you?
What do you love about me other than my good looks?
You're not afraid to like incorporate other people's ideas, and you give them credit for it. Like I think that's good. That shows that you should learn from other people all the time.
By the way, the tape is still running. I'm going to use that, okay? your full name.
Brandon Gray, born and raised Los Angeles, California.
Uh-oh, SoCal in the house.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm a NorCal guy, but hey.
It's all right. It's all right.
I love LA, man.
Hey, how about them 49ers?
Ooh, boy, the truth is now, long story short,
Uh-oh.
Atlanta fell in love with Southern Cal and NorCal, flipped the corner in Oklahoma City, ended up in San Francisco for 40 years, man.
Okay.
Can you show me that box there? What do we got going on here tonight?
Oh, these are just some custom pizza boxes right here.
Wait, do I see a brother making bomb-ass pizza?
That's me.
All right, now.
That's me.
How long you been doing this?
Since COVID, so April 7, 2021.
Wow. So how's it going for you?
I mean, I think it's going pretty good. We got a few LA Times write-ups, all across every publication, you know?
I love it. I love it.
Now take a look at some of Brandon's pizzas. I love the names also. SoFly Buffalo Chicken, Da Bomb. Now here's a gallery from his website. All the pizzas that are available. I love the shot of his hand dropping the cheese on the buffalo mozzarella. Brandon doesn't just do pizzas. He's got wings too. Wait. But I'm getting ahead of myself. More about the wings a little later. Let's go back and meet Chef Brandon Gray. I love this cat's pizza.
Hi, beautiful. This is my sister, man. Hi, girl. Brandon has a microphone, so you got to speak loud.
I talk loud.
So would you introduce us to your friend there?
This is Brandon.
Now I want you to give me his bio because he's too shy.
He's worked in some amazing kitchens.
Microphone.
We're reading our fortune right now. Your present plans are going to succeed. What?
That's crazy.
Look at our 214 this morning.
You must have knew this was for me.
I didn't. How would I know? The project you have in mind will soon gain momentum, and yours?
Your present plans are going to succeed.
I love it. I love it. Now, finish the intro of this beautiful young man to my right.
Well, what I know about Brandon is...
Tell me what you know about me.
I know that he grew up in Baldwin Hills, and with your mom, and... You love to eat. You love to cook. You love your neighborhood.
Doesn't everyone loves that?
No, they don't. And then you got interested. I know more than you think.
Okay.
But then you went to the Navy. You got enlisted in the Navy, where you were for 3 years.
4 years.
4 years. 4 years, and you really honed your skills. You worked in the kitchen there, and then when you got out, you did some other stints, and I know you landed at Providence as executive chef. And he might not know this.
Wait, hold up, back up. He landed where?
Providence on Melrose, one of the finest restaurants in all of Los
So
Angeles.
for those folks who are watching this in Atlanta and up in San Francisco, tell us a little bit about Providence.
Tell you a little bit about it?
Yes, please.
He has to.
Okay, great.
He has to tell us about
Is
Providence.
there something about a star? What kind of star was he there?
Michelin star. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in 2009, they received 2 Michelin stars and still currently have 2 Michelin stars currently.
So, and may I be so bold to ask, you're the person that alerted into that 2 Michelin stars?
Oh, I wish I could say that, but there was a restaurant that I worked at in Australia.
That's right.
So they don't have Michelin stars, they have hats. So 3 hats is equivalent to like 2 Michelin stars. So I worked at a 2-hat restaurant that when I worked there we were 2 hats, but we had then got 3 hats.
Nice.
So
may I hear the city and in Australia?
it was Dunkeld. So Dunkeld is about 3 hours away from Melbourne, Australia, which is like one of the major cities in Australia.
I know Melbourne quite well.
And
How long in Australia?
a year, 364 days.
All right, before we 364 days. I love that. All right, two quick questions. I've got 2 incredible human beings first. My sister Rochelle, different mama, different daddy, same father.
That's right.
And a new friend that I'm looking forward to know about a lot about. So the young people that are watching us, and all of us work a lot of young chefs, right? So,
Gloria, will you close the back door so Penelope doesn't sneak out again? I'm sorry. Thank you.
Penelope, everyone. That's
Penelope
right
debuting here.
So we've got the young woman or the young black kid out there who, or any kid of color who feels like they can't do this. What would your one piece of advice be to that person?
You're asking me since I am an African American female?
Because you're a woman, right?
I'm just kind of very light.
In your heart, you're definitely.
No, well, this year is about highlighting women chefs, chefs of color, and women. Right?
Yes.
And being a Jewish woman in this country can be tough. I know it can.
Yeah.
You know, we were on your people, my people, our tribe, because we're together. Back in the day of Dr. King, we were like that, right? So
definitely.
What is your piece of advice to that young woman who?
Just, you have to work harder than the men. I'm sorry. You have to work 7 days a week, 14 hours a day sometimes to prove yourself, but you'll get there. There's a lot more opportunities today than there were when I was coming out. At my class of the CIA, out of 72 people, there were 3 females, myself being one of them. Today it's 51% female, 49% male per group of 72 kids.
Oh wow!
Incredible.
I mean, fast forward 1987
right.
to now.
Class was what number? How do I say that right?
Brandoni pepperoni. Brandon with an I.
I love it. Brandoni pepperoni. And you kicked that off during COVID, right?
Yeah.
And your background in the Navy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what was that experience like?
It was interesting going from graduating high school 6 months later, went to the military, did that for about 4 years. So essentially I was cooking for like 500 people. So that was like my first introduction to the hospitality industry.
How did you go from into that service to the kitchen? What made that?
To be completely honest, it was my mom watching Food Network, and
I like that.
I had a TV. I had a TV in my room, but I would put the TV on mute, and I would turn the volume in the living room all the way up because I didn't want her coming in my room and be like, "Are you watching the Food Network?" So I was always kind of like cognizant of like the stereotypes of like men maybe not being in the kitchen. So I'd always had the volume on mute. So that was, I remember watching like Iron Chef, and I can see it, but I couldn't hear it, but I could just hear it from like, so
that was kind of the driving force.
It was.
Yeah. All right, so you're in the Navy, you go through the boot camp, whatever that is, and I never served, and by the way, thank you for your service.
I appreciate that.
I mean that. My brother served and, we lost him, so anyway, thank you for service. So you're in the Navy, you cook for 4 years, you leave the Navy, what's after that?
I then go to culinary school, the Art Institute of Los Angeles in Santa Monica. Did that for 2 years. I graduated June 2010. Then I remember watching Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain.
Rest in peace.
Amen.
Rest in peace for sure.
You met him, yeah?
We had a couple.
We'll talk.
This is about Brandon.
I
know. He ate at this one restaurant in Dunkeld, and he spoke so eloquently about this carrot. And just graduated culinary school. I was like, you know what? Let's just buy a one-way ticket. And I bought a one-way ticket in hopes of working at that restaurant that he had spoke so highly about this carrot. And fast forward 2 months, I fly to Australia. I didn't end up working at that particular restaurant, but found another restaurant that had like one hat at the time, so maybe like one Michelin star restaurant. Did that for 6 months. Then I was looking at plane tickets back home. And just as I was looking at plane tickets back home, I get a "You've Got Mail," and it was the actual chef that I had flew to Australia for. And he was like, "Hey, can you come up for a week stage?" A stage is essentially you work for free for a week. and did that, and the rest was history. I think that was my first introduction into like fine dining, and ever since then,
Do you still enjoy that level as well?
I do, just because I was in the Boy Scouts, transitioned to the military, transitioned into fine dining, so I've always had structure in my life, and I think fine dining.
We should be friends because I am structureless.
You're structureless.
I love the fact that,
Structureless.
Okay.
You notice I got ready after everyone got here.
I saw
but
that.
Fast,
Right.
Fast.
and I'm in the position where I can really make
So I just love, like, I was the type of kid that if I drew outside of the lines, like, it really, like, it kind of bothered me a little bit. So the Boy Scouts sort of kind of like honed that like structure, and it's carried like that for.
We're going to have to do this again sometime. Your food, Brandon's food right now, I'm looking on this Brandon, how do I say that right?
Brandoni pepperoni. Brandon with an I.
I love it. Brandoni pepperoni. And you kicked that off during COVID, right?
Yeah.
And for everything I
He pivoted from fine dining. And he's getting so much press, and he runs out of food all the time. He's so busy, and he's a one-man band.
One-man band.
He's doing everything.
Tonight we're going to be dining on some of that Brandoni with an I.
You got to say it 3 times. If you say it 3 times, you got it. You got it.
Now give us the website real quick.
www.brandoni-pepperoni.com.
Pepperoni.com. All right, we're going to be watching Brandon tonight. Going to ask you a few questions. Going to stay out of the way, though. Is that cool?
That's all right.
Can you pound it?
All right.
All right, blow it up. One for you too, sis.
Good. Just running a couple stations right now.
Oh, okay. So what is this right here we got going here?
We got some wings going on.
I love how you say wings. They're not chicken wings. They're wings.
They wings. Wings and things.
So you spend much time in Buffalo at all, bro?
Not at all. Never even been. Never even been.
Now, these are the wings when they're finished and just getting ready to go into the sauce. I'm going to show you a picture of the wings in the sauce because, as we say as kids, what had happened was the photographer, me, Curtis G, made a mistake. I accidentally pressed slow-mo. So I really wanted to capture this part of the video, and I can't get back to LA to do it. So Chef Brandon is talking to us about the way he prepares his wings and some things there. And I'm going to show you a little later. I'm going to demonstrate these things. He does 2 incredible things where he Frenches the wings, and he also removes one of the bones. And we talked about why this is done. And I'll explain it to you when I demo how to French the wings. And then he fries them for like 11 minutes in this super hot oil, and they are fabulous.
You are going to eat though, right, Chef?
I mean, there's still some work to be doing, so we'll get there.
Can you pause one of those wings so I get a nice little tight shot on one of them?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's those beautiful French wings. Woo!
Food is served. Is this fun to watch? This is great,
yeah. Rochelle, there's the blue cheese and the ranch are inside of the fridge or on the countertop.
Super hot, super mild. What do you think it is?
Say that again?
How hot are the wings?
Hella hot.
Hella hot.
Hella hot.
Hey now. Hella hot.
Hella hot. All right, let's go and get some of these inside.
I can smell it too.
I really want to thank Rochelle, our host, and Chef Brandon for the wonderful food. Take a look at his info there. We talked about it earlier. However, just take a minute. Thanks so much, Chef Brandon. You're the bomb. Now, a crazy transition, go from those gourmet pizzas to Domino's. I would never diss Domino's again. I had a flat tire today. They showed up with a hamburger pizza. Thank you, Lisa Cobb. I love you, baby. I'm sitting on 580 for 5 hours. Thank you, Domino's. Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, friends, this is my new fryer, my T-Fowl Ultimate Easy Clean Deep Fry Machine. You know, and I never thought I'd buy one of these. However, after watching Chef Brandon use his down south in LA, I figure, why not? Let's do this. Now, let's get to the kitchen and show you those tricks that Chef Brandon did with making his wings. Okay, we'll get some oil in this bad boy too and see how she fries. Here we are in my kitchen, And I've got to tell you all, Lisa and I had a great trip to Las Vegas, even though we didn't get the chance to see Adele. And from Las Vegas, we went to Los Angeles, where we stayed with my sister. I call Rochelle my sister. And I'm so happy that she and Lisa had met before, and they clicked like I knew they would. They're very, very similar women. Rochelle and I go back so far. I can't wait to share with you Rochelle's skills. She was one of the first women to graduate the CIA Culinary Institute of America back in 1987. She helped open Spago. She was a pastry chef there. She was also a chef for Bradley Ogden down at Lark Creek Inn. I could go on and on. However, today is about Chef Brandon. And during that part where he was cooking the wings, he'd given some nuggets, some tidbits that I want to share with you, because me, Cecil B. DeCurtis, I blew it. I accidentally hit the slow motion, so it slowed down, so you didn't capture all those nuggets. Two of the things that Chef Brandon talked about was Frenching the chicken wings, the wings, right? I'm going to show you that technique. And he also talked about removing one of the bones out of the flapper, out of the wing part. The drumette is what he Frenched the little flapper, and we're going to show you those right away. Then we're going to go to the deep fryer. I've got, I bought a fryer because I was so impressed with his. I've got some seasoned flour here, all those wonderful flours, and I'm going to take a whisk and just whisk that up to get all those seasons incorporated. Then we're going to place the wings in, shake them, shake them, shake them, and we'll drop them in that fryer once we get the oil there and heat it. So let's go to the chicken wings. We have our wings and things. And I love the way Chef Brandon did his wings. He took, now that's the whole wing, the little flapper and the wing part, and these are called drumettes, or some stores they call them, different places have different names. And he slices the little drumette off, and there's a little what's the word I'm looking for? A little, joint there. You can cut right through, make a very nice clean. You can just feel with your knife to get to the right spot there, right? Mama had a way of doing this. It was so easy. Now, you see that right there? So that's a beautiful, beautiful wingette. And what he does is he removes one of the bones here. And it does two things. There's two bones in that wing portion, right? It does two things. It helps the wing lay flatter, okay? And it looks like a much, much bigger wing. And it also cuts down your cooking time. So remember that. There's a lot of ways to remove the bone. You can slice it. Remember, slice away from yourself so you don't cut yourself. Just put a little V in there, and you can pull that bone, should be able to pull that bone right out. So, and remember, the more you do something, the easier it becomes, and the better at it you get. Whoops, maybe let's see now, Curtis George. Let's go in the other way. And we've got to get it cut loose, okay? So take your time. Practice makes perfect, okay? So I'm just going to slice that right through, and we're just deboning that little wing, okay? Again, practice, practice, practice. And we can get that out of there. Well, I'm going to have to practice before I show you on tape, okay? Let's get this bone out of it. Let's get this little bone out of here. There we go. See that right there? Bone out, okay? Now we'll pretty that up. So see how it lays flat? Okay. Now, to French the drumette, what he did was he took his little paring knife and you would cut around the bottom. Just cut around the bottom of the bone there. Okay. I am not a doctor. I play one on television, so I'm a food doctor, a surgeon with the deboning knife. Okay. I'm going to cut that all the way around. Just take your time. It might be easier on the cutting board. And then you just want to pull that meat away from that bone. Okay. Practice, practice, practice. We're talking about practice. Allen Iverson, the great basketball player, did not like to practice, but he was one of those gifted athletes. Those of us who are not as gifted, you know, we have to practice. So what he did is just pulled it down, and that gives you two things. One, it again helps the meat cook quicker. Also gives you a place to hold onto the wings. And a lot of times, like in a lot of the catering companies, you'll pull that all the way down and flip it over, and they'll call that like a lollipop, chicken lollipop. Let's see if we can do a better job with that this time. So again, here's our full wing. We're going to find that joint.
Curtis seems to be struggling with this concept of removing that bone. Let's see what Coach
now
Chef
and my
has to say.
Teacher brain, my educator mindset, I'm always trying to figure out ways, or my coaching mindset, I'm trying to figure out ways of conveying information, trying to, you know, if I'm coaching, I want to get my players, I want to coach my players up so that they can compete to their best. So I figure one of the best ways to illustrate that French method might be using something large enough that you can see it in action. So I got these turkey wings, and they're just big old chicken wings. Again, these are fresh wings from local. It's the same process. Find that little knuckle in there, you know, and it's a little trial and error. Just go through it. I got to tell you all, it's late at night that I'm doing this because, you know, I had a flat tire today coming from yoga, and boy, it just threw my day off, you know. So here we are at 8:30 at night when Lisa and I usually just kind of kicking back and chilling, enjoying our evening. And I'm trying to wrap up a show to get in tomorrow. And see that little joint there? See, it's so much easier to see it with the turkey. Get the whole joint there. Now the process again, to French it, we want to cut around the bone. And it is easier to cut this because it's so big. My phone has gone black on us, gone dark on us. Hey Siri, how much time left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Whoops, that's the big Siri. I was talking to my clock. We might be like 9, about 5 minutes or so. Okay. Oh, look at that. This is a bigger. Well, because a turkey is bigger, right? It's a bigger everything. So I got bigger membranes to cut, bigger tendons to cut. We're going to have bigger meat to eat. Ooh, Frenching a turkey wing. Oh, the chicken is starting to smell good in the house, y'all. So we're going to finish up this French turkey wing, and then we will. We're gonna batter it as well, and we're gonna fry it in that deep fry after the chicken is done. Okay. So what I was saying earlier about trying to coach my players up or teach my students, what we want to do is we want to help them be successful. So if something is too small for the kid to work with or the athlete to learn with, you know, if it's easier to teach basketball, let's say, you know, ball handling drills with a beach ball for young kids, go for it. Try a beach ball. Give them something big so that they can touch and work with, right? The same thing is in illustrating this Frenching technique. If a chicken bone might be too small for them to work with, too small for their hands, go with a turkey bone. Now look at that. See how much easier that was? A little more work because the meat was bigger, of course. However, look at that. That's a perfect illustration of that Frenching technique. So we're going to push that meat down. Okay. Voila, look at that. So much easier with the turkey bone, okay? With the turkey wing. We're going to put that there. Now, let's see if we can remove this bone from our turkey easier than we did from the chicken. I need to check my timer, but my hands are all wet. Oops. Got to do the Face ID, y'all. Hey now, there we go. Let's see. Okay, we've got 3 minutes left for our chicken to cook. Excuse me for showing my best side to you. Now there's that bone. I don't know which bone might be best to remove. So again, you see how much easier it is to use this because it's so much bigger than a chicken bone. And again, we find that little knuckle. Just keep playing around until you find that little joint, and take your little knife and cut through.
So what I'm going to do here is just speed it up, and we're going to slice along that bone, again at that top joint so it'll slide out, and then along the length of the bone, and just kind of pull it right out of there. Just take your time. If you need to trim a little more meat off, that's okay. Meat from the bone, I mean.
There we go. We got her. Ooh, baby. All right, now let's take a look and see if our chicken is ready. Our wings are ready to go. We've got 12 seconds. The countdown is on.
All right, so back to our wings. We're going to mix that seasoning into the flour. Then we're going to drop our wings in, mix them up, shake them up, and let's do some frying.
Well, the temperature light is off, so we have reached our temp, shaking everything up. I've got my basket here. We are ready to give it a try. Let's go ahead and load the basket up with our covered wings. And what I plan to do is while these are cooking, we will, oh, that looks good. Those are coated very nicely. We'll attempt to try our, turkey wings. Now this is nice and hot. I'm going to go ahead and again, they suggest putting the bird in, then lowering it. Easy for this to think, hard to say. However, since I'm a professional, I say that with a laugh, I like to lay them in. Oh, look at that. Because I really want you to see these wings, right? We're gonna, and those are the wings, it's the drumettes. We're gonna get them in there. We're gonna let them cook for about 11 minutes. We're gonna go with Brandon's time. Let's get the cover on here. And I'm going to move this over, and we're going to see if we can French a couple of turkey wings. How's that sound? Demonstrate that process. Lisa does not like the smell of the frying in the house, so moving forward, whenever we work with this contraption, I shouldn't say contraption, whenever we work with this beautiful machine, we will be doing it outside. The chicken wings, I love these. I really think we got some here, y'all. Wow. I'm gonna use Mama's buttermilk recipe next time though. I do think that tastes better.